If you live in an area that does not have easy access to fresh fruits and vegetables, it's considered a food desert. Just a quick visual tour with District 3 would be, is if you think about Southwest Fresno, the downtown Fresno, the Tower District, the Jane Addams Roding Park area, and that Clinton 99 corridor out there, Clinton Broadly going out west as far as the city limits. If you have to travel beyond 2 or 3 miles just to get fresh fruit or vegetables, typically you're considered to be in a food desert. In Southwest Fresno, we have actually 2 food deserts that have been designated. So it's the area, if you think west of, I believe it's west of West going down Kearney, out there. And then there's an area that is south of Church. The federal government has designated these areas as food deserts. Based on the number of people that live there and the accessibility to fresh fruits and vegetables, we would be considered a food desert.
There's no major grocery store here. They need fresh fruits and vegetables just like, you know, they do on the north side of town. They have to go at least 6 miles before they get to the nearest grocery store, which is Food Max. They have a lot of liquor stores over in this area, but we need major grocery stores. We need to make sure we have resources of fresh fruits and vegetables and meat and healthy things for the community so they can have healthy things to feed their families and, you know, to go to a grocery store and be able to shop and be able to feed their families. You know, good quality meats, good quality vegetables, and not everything that just comes from the 99-cent store, just quality things. We don't have that quality here in West Fresno. There is a lot of financial money here to be gained. And if they come here, they will make a profit here. There's a lot of people in West Fresno, Southwest Fresno, would love to have those things and not have to get on the bus to go way over on the other side of town just to go grocery shopping or get a taxi like Regina Mitchell does every first of the month, where she spends $40 to go to her house, to Food Max and back. That is a financial burden on her. Financial burden on her. Financial burden.
It's pretty much an all-day thing. It seems like an all-day thing. I want to say maybe almost up to 6 hours. Yeah, it's a lot of hours. It's almost all day. That day is just for grocery shopping, pretty much.
I don't know if there'll be room to do the car seat. Sometimes there's not enough room and I have to just hold them. I don't know if she'll be mad.
My name is Regina Mitchell, and I'm a mother of 6, 5 boys and 1 girl. My youngest is 15 months old, and I have a 4-year-old daughter. And I have an 8-year-old, then an 11-year-old, and a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old. The 4th of the month means to me and my family shopping day, time to go get food. And it's a big shopping day for us. We try to get majority of the food that day. And it can be a pretty tiring day. That's why we prepare ahead of time. You have to prepare. That is another reason why we've cut down on the hours of being in the store. It used to take longer, but I noticed with everyone working together and everyone splitting up, we're able to not be in the store for so long because it gets tiring, you know, with children, and I get tired myself. And so with everyone working together, it does make the trip a lot shorter. We try to prepare at least a day or 2 days beforehand on what we're going to buy and who's going to, you know, do what, and pretty much how many shopping carts we needed to, because sometimes we need a lot of shopping carts. has been times where some cab drivers really nice, and they probably won't run the meter as you're putting the groceries in, which really helps out a lot. Because there are times when the meter is running and you're trying to hurry up and everyone's rushing to put the groceries in, and that's pretty hard. At that moment when you're done grocery shopping, you're ready to go home, and I just have to pay what I have to pay to get my food home. When there's not enough room, maybe the older children will have to take the bus home, while some of us will ride in the cab home with the food.
There is one full-service grocery store in Southwest Fresno, and that's at Fresno and C Street. And you know, it is a food max. It's and everyone's really grateful and that it's there. But you know, the area demands more. It's overshot. It's an overshot store. That store, when it happened, actually is the #1 producing store in that chain, in the entire Save Mart chain in the region. It kind of dispelled the myth that if you put a store in Southwest Fresno, that people wouldn't shop there.
There are times that I do have to go back throughout the month to get more, produce like fresh fruits and vegetables, because that doesn't last very long. So you do need to go back and get more milk and eggs. I would say about maybe $400 to $500 sometimes at one time. And then going back throughout the month, it could range up to maybe about $700, $800 at times. You have no choice. That's where if you want to get cheap prices and a lot of food, that's the only store in the area. The prices are a lot cheaper for me. I'm able to get more for my money versus the liquor stores that I live next to. I'm able to buy more. I'm able to have the money stretch for the whole month.
In 2012, we took a resident survey, and for the most part, residents want a place where they can buy groceries. There's no grocery store. So say if you have a mother who's struggling and doesn't have transportation, she's got to take the bus or a taxi over 5 miles to buy groceries. So one of the biggest needs was a grocery store. The other big need was we have a lot of residents who are in wheelchairs, a lot of seniors, and there's a lot of incomplete pedestrian infrastructure. On one side of the street there'll be sidewalk, on the other side there'll just be a dirt patch. So there's a lot of incomplete neighborhood design, and our research shows that those type of elements, lack of access to fresh food, lack of pedestrian infrastructure, all creates a unhealthy brew for childhood obesity and other social indicators that are exacerbated by incomplete neighborhood design.
The lack of grocery stores in the area does affect our health, I notice, because if there's not much fruits and vegetables around, you're only able to get what's there. And if there's a lot of junk, that's what you're left with. I would say our budget, like I said, the liquor stores can be pretty pricey. And if there's nothing else in the area, that's what you're left to buy. And it can hurt your pocket in the end. There's a high need of grocery stores, laundromats, parks. There's really not much in my area.
In West Fresno, one of the things that clearly is necessary, from my perspective at least, in terms of the ability to generate additional services, retail types of services, if not other kinds of social services, whatever they might be, the kinds of things that neighborhoods need, is driven by how many rooftops there are. And again, then the demographic of those rooftops. The demographics being what's there, what's the buying power of a market area. That's what everybody in the retail and commercial business looks at, because those are the parameters that you've really got to satisfy in order to generate the businesses who are willing to provide, take the risk and provide the services for an area. So I strongly have always believed, continue to believe, the stronger that we can make downtown Fresno, the more economically viable it is, the stronger our opportunity and the likelihood of our success in improving the economics in West Fresno. And I'm talking about Southeast Fresno because I see certainly concerns there also. The ones that appear to be more prominent, just looking at the landscape, are clearly in West Fresno. There are lots of areas where developed properties are quite a ways apart. They're not typical kinds of subdivision areas like you see in other parts of Fresno and other communities where there's been more recent growth. So the challenge is, how do you provide the services that are convenient to the people? And it becomes very complicated because it's not the developer that makes those choices, it's the actual user of the property in the end.
I feel that having a grocery store in the neighborhood would really help a lot, not just for myself, but for other residents out there. I know I'm not the only one that is having difficulty getting to the store, and that is on a budget. I know there's more out there, and I've actually spoken to other residents, and at times they said they feel like they've been forgotten, that we're just living out there and everyone has forgotten us, and that they don't realize that we have needs, and our needs are not being met. And it would be really nice to have a grocery store.
My constituents don't have a lot of disposable income. It's because everything that they have, everything that they receive goes into helping them live every single day. And they are going to do that. They are going to live. They are going to buy milk and bread and cereal. They're going to buy diapers for the children. So here's what they don't take into account for my constituents, especially in West Fresno, is the significant cash economy that exists, right? And people say, well, what's a cash economy? So here's what a cash economy is. There are businesses that thrive and go in West Fresno that we all know about. Like right down the street from my house, I have a guy that barbecues every single weekend. Really good food, really good barbecue. As soon as the weather gets good, he cranks it up, and every Saturday and Sunday, he's barbecuing, right? But the guy works a regular job. He has a regular Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 job like most people do. But this is what he does on the weekend to help supplement his income. Now, that's not reported income. Right? So, not that we're trying to get anybody in trouble with the IRS, but this is how we do things in order to make it, right? Legitimate businesses, right? The young lady that does hair out of her house, or the guy that on a weekend goes around and cuts people's hair, right? Because he needs a few extra bucks. Not illegitimate, very legitimate, but these are cash economies. And you don't capture those, you don't capture that in just when you take a snapshot of demographics and income levels. I have a store, a major store that would really transform the entire area. I have a developer who has the ability to execute, and I'm working on the city.
We're the biggest agricultural city in the United States, but we don't have vegetables and fruit here, or a grocery store or a fruit stand within a 6-mile radius.
I did not know that I could have a voice like this in the past. I did not know that I had a voice to speak up and to say, hey, we need these things. And so that's what I'm learning to do now.
This prototype is basically a 4x4 box that you can store for produce on top. These are going to be going into area convenience stores.
Look at what the demographics are. How many people live within 1 mile of a point in the area, or 3 miles or 5 miles, depending upon the type of retailer that you might be looking